For this question, we want to solve triangle ABC. And we don't know anything about the angles in this triangle. However, we can figure out the lengths of the three sides of the triangle by using this information over here. For example, we are told that circle A has a radius of 5.3, and what that means is that this distance from here to here is 5.3, and so is this. We are told that circle B has a radius of 4, so that is this distance and this distance. And we are told that circle C has a radius of 2.8, so that's 2.8, and so is this. I think I'll draw this separately, but if we're looking at triangle A, B, C, like this, the length of this side is going to be the sum of these two lengths, 5.3 plus 2.8. That is 8.1. The length of this side is going to be the sum of those two, 5.3 plus 4, and that's 9.3. The length of this side will be the sum of these two, so that's 4 plus 2.8, that's 6.8. And from here, this is a side-side-side case of a triangle, meaning we can use the law of cosines to solve for angles A, B, and C. I like to start with solving for the biggest angle, which will be opposite the longest side. So I'm going to set the law of cosines to solve for angle C. So that means this is side C, this is side A, and this is side B. The law of cosine says that side C squared is equal to side A squared plus side B squared minus 2AB times cosine of angle C. In angle C, this thing here is the only thing that we don't know within this equation. So I'm going to plug in all the other information, solve for cosine of C, and then use an inverse trig function to find the angle itself. All right, so we have that 9.3 squared is equal to 6.8 squared plus 8.1 squared minus 2 times A, which is 6.8, times B, which is 8.1, times cosine of C. So I'll square this stuff out, multiply this together, and solve for cosine of C. So let's see, 9.3 squared, got a calculator out here. We have 86.49 is equal to, 6.8 squared plus 8.1 squared is 111.85 minus 2 times 6.8 times 8.1. That's 110.16 is equal to cosine of C. I'll subtract this from both sides and divide by this number here. So that's 86.49 minus 111.85, and I'm dividing by negative 110.16. All right, so what I get is 0.23021060028 is equal to cosine of C. To get the angle C by itself, I'm going to use cosine inverse of both sides of the equation. What that will do on the right is cancel the cosine, and it will leave me with angle C. And then this cosine inverse of this number is the angle that we're looking for. So I'm going to do this like directly in my calculator. I'm doing cosine inverse of 0.23021060028. And I get 77 degrees if I round to the nearest degree. So that is the measure of this angle. It'll be the largest angle within the triangle. We can do this process again to find any of the other angles. I guess I would probably do angle B next. And then once you know angle B, well, you can add up these two and subtract from 180 to get angle A over here. We could use either the law of cosines or the law of sines to get this angle. I think I'll use the law of sines for a couple reasons. It'll be a shorter process than this, and I know we're not going to run into any angle where this, might be an obtuse angle, and the law of sines doesn't give me the correct one. The law of sines is, all right, let's see, we'll say sine of b over b is equal to sine of c over c. The only thing that I don't know in this equation is what the value of b is. That is sine of b over 8.1 is equal to sine of 77, that's the thing we just solved for, over c, which is 9.3. I will multiply 8.1 to both sides. And then to get b, I will take sine inverse of both sides of this equation. So essentially, I'm just doing this all within my calculator. B is equal to sine inverse of this thing. I'm going to punch this into my calculator and then enter the value within sine inverse. So 8.1 times sine of 77 divided by 9.3 is, this is the decimal I'm getting, 0.8486448951. If I put this in sine inverse, I get that b is equal to 58 degrees if I round to the nearest degree. So that is this here. That's 58. This was 77. If you want to figure out what angle A is equal to, it is equal to 180 degrees minus angle B, which is 58, minus angle C, which is 77. So 180 minus 58 minus 77 is 45. And that is this angle here. So this was a side-side-side triangle. So we had to use the law of cosines to get one of the angles. And I went with the largest one. Then I used the law of sines. And then I used this fact here to get angle A.